frequent platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty. To we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
Just on the crowd for see. We got the Political Parties Regulation Commission, the PPIC, we got the Human Rights Commission, elections observers, the security sector. There are people that we don't monitor the elections and don't observe which in they happen. A lot of reports and don't come out, and we therefore continue with we broadcast. We definitely get for the talk to people across the country on their expectations with the new government, and as well we look forward to every Sierra I'm sure is looking forward to the appointments. We don't hear one force we the reappointment of the anti-corruption commissioner, and a lot of people they look forward to order them get for being the next people and we go there na the president in cabinet, na the foreign missions of the country, ministries, departments and agencies, order them get for represent order them get for other institutions and the and a lot of people. I think that could be the next phase of after the announcement of the results. We don't forget state opening of parliament with the expected inauguration as well of the president. We get for broadcast live and we get for the bring you information on things as then they happen. You watch AYV television on channel 33, we on DSTV on channel 399, we on radio on FM 11.7. We saw the broadcast on FM 11.7. We stream live online www.ayvnews.com, and same way on our Facebook page, AYV News. Wherever you follow we, whether you use the AYV mobile app, we see security officers and they come from the door. Also, we expect the national returning officer and chairman for coming, a military officer, they by the door. So they expect the chairman for coming. This is IYV Television. We're bringing you live broadcast from the Freetown International Conference Center, Bintumani, Usai. They wait for the announcement of the results, elections results. A week ago, Sierra Leoneans them vote, for who that go be them president, who that go be the member of parliament, who that go be the mayor, who that go be the councillor, who that go be the chairperson. And moving on gets the results for the presidency, and the national returning officer be announced President Bio as winner for the presidential election. So today, the public, Sierra Leoneans across the world and in Sierra Leone, they look forward for Uda will be the mayors, now the different places for the next 5 years. And as well, Uda will be them which party will get the seats that are the number of seats na parliament, local council, and as well chairperson for the next 5 years. This is a process what they expect after 5 years, and for now we're almost complete. It has been a long process. Usai, then be announced the dates for the time where the election will be. That was in 2022. The national returning officer be announced the dates after consultation with President Bio, and processes and registration. We covered that. After registration, we go through other processes, verification and all, collection of ID cards, declaration of campaign, nomination process of the candidates right across the country. And then we voted on 24th June. We voted as a nation, over 3 million Sierra Leoneans them vote for the presidency and other position them. And AYV, home of all times balanced factual news. We cover the election and we cover the announcement of the results. There were celebrations in here that day, and we get the views of people out of here. Don't forget to say there was a tally process as well. There was a tally process across the country and at the Wellington Industrial Estate. We covered that as well. And today we there possibly and hope for the announcement of the final results. It's almost 4:30. We are like a 30 minutes late for the announcement. We are 30 minutes late. We were expecting the announcement to start at 4 p.m., but it's now 4:27 p.m. and it's still the wait. Yeah, it's still the wait. And they look forward to the announcement of this result today. The coordinator of the Office of National Security ONS, like Koka himself there, the Director of Operations of the Sierra Leone Police, by Maja there, and other senior people in the security sector there, political parties, as well as, local and international journalists. They wait for the announcement today for the mayoral parliamentary chairperson and councillors. I'm sure the candidates themselves they wait. The independent candidates, they only represent political parties, they only wait for this announcement today. And the world's attention is on AYV as well. I'm sure the world's attention is on AYV. I'm sure a lot of people they wait for waiting they happen today. But the theme for this election don't be full election. One of the main discussion that has been ongoing is that even when people they win, then for ensure say then celebrate Saful. The president and other people the observers and other people don't call for a peaceful process. Say even we people the president been say we people he been talk to young people them say where them party don't win, then for celebrate Saful and ensure say they not provoke and cause, and that has been the message. And if you can see in the message here, the 2023 Saful elections, that has been generally the message right across on these elections. They watch AYV television, they broadcast live from the Freetown International Conference Center. And I've been to Mani. They listen to me on radio on FM 101.7. The same way so they on radio online, www.ayvnews.com. With the stream on our Facebook page, AYV News. Which I know a lot of Sierra Leoneans they follow we and they watch. So they bring you live information on the coverage of this election, as to some extent it's coming to an end for the announcement of results. The Political Parties Regulation Commission, the PPRC, they hear elections observers and international journalists as well. a local journalist, a different media houses, this national broadcaster, and IRN and different media houses. In there, they wait for the announcement of these results. It's 4:31. We're still waiting. We're 31 minutes late for the start, for the announcement of these results and the start of this program. Earlier, Albert Masakoi been cancelled. We say at any moment from then, we go expect the the chairman and national returning officer. You still get some observers around, the European Union observers, and other observers are still there around, and then they wait for the announcement of these results. Journalists, the organizing sector, Rebellion Association of Journalists, Mohamed Konneh, and other people, Umaru Fofana, Kelvin Lewis, Joseph Igbenda Kapua, and other senior journalists in there. So I just get information, say there will be a slight delay with the commencement of this, but we're still there. We definitely bring you live updates. As soon as we start here, we go connect and bring you more information. We go back to the studios na Tawail. Musai, we still the wait. There a bit. I've just been informed that there will be a slight delay, and but we still there. The wait. We there. So, but we go back to the studios at Tawail. Then as soon as we start here, we will bring live broadcast to you from the Bintumani Conference Center.
Oh yeah, talking point platform, TV. Oh yeah, Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well on for tomorrow. Now we go make salute.
Madola Mangana Babin just take you rundown of waiting Bintumani Conference Center look like. So ECSL is supposed to announce at 4 p.m. Now 4:35 now, but we still await. Hopefully the announcement of the remaining results will be done soon. But I still get Honorable Bamidele Chide with me at the studio, and we go just continue with conversation. Before we go Bintumani, I will ask you, say, what are your overall opinion on the election process from pre-election up onto Usai Wide so right now?
Thank you. Like you for talk
yeah, it works.
Okay, good. Thank you. In the sense now, we get these elections and the fever be too high. The country was polarized bang in the middle because of the conversation, the campaign messages and everything. So by the time it come towards the Friday, at least there was a bit of calm, sense. Don't talk to the political parties for make sure say then tone down the rhetoric. make people then go vote safely. I like that word where electoral commission can be started. The only best thing I like by electoral commission, go vote safely, go home safely, and when you win, enjoy safely and rest for the next day for development of the country. So that tension we don't build up. If you find out some people that begin to go by on a market, say something they happen, but maybe tell people that say nothing only happen. When they go vote, I will cancel no suffer, now we host and listen the results, and who that win, we congratulate them. And as that exactly happened. Now the truth election, now you get the pre-election, you have the election, then you have the post-election. I am your concern now because if they read this one, they don't get the parliament, they don't get the council and the district chairman and mayoral seats. How do you bring peace to Sierra Leone? Because the noise where they don't make, the talk they don't talk, the inventives they don't do, at least they'll come back as a nation, hands on, so that at least we will criticize constructively, come to idea for help, because we all opposition, the one with the ruling party, the civil society, and we the citizens themselves. Now tune down rhetoric, now try for build Mama Salon, because at the end of the day, if you pull them, whether opposition pull them or other pull them, but the onus is on the opposition. If you pull them, you get for need money for bill. Outside the money get for come out.
At this stage, so right now, this post-election stage, the disagreements, the doubts, the suspicions, the question marks, and all of it. When you take them back to election day, some of the activities during the election day itself, do we, as a country, we get any justification for this drama we'll get so right now?
But this is not drama nation. No. Either it goes better, we go dance. That we did all the time if you watch the election. But this time around, we have to make conscious effort by saying the right thing to our people. Because if we not say the right thing to our people, look the election. Every day, now react to the react. What's your press release? But I will commend the police. They will look high-handed at the beginning. But towards the end, to the day for the polling station, I will commend the IG or whoever in the security. I will commend the IG because he is to be visibly seen. Soldier, the backup. That is, you will read because what they do this time, as I look at from your own perspective, is that as you see crowd begin to get disperse at one time, because now when they get that, then they can begin to about human rights violation. And it was able to handle it. Though people are vexed, but at least it was the last election was it when my guy Anes and Pabra be the course archer. At the end of the election came out peacefully. And I will commend this new IG because I'm in responsibility. It's a big task when we have so many tension that at the end of the year, they drive past now, nothing happened. When they read the final result for the presidential, everything that's there peacefully. They'll comment out. Now that spirit there, at least, the government too should come out and make sure when they open olive branch, make sure say talk and do exactly what you say. Now this thing they happen when electoral commission will talk one thing on meeting, by the time they come out, they're saying a different thing and talk. So who is saying who? Saying what?
We go reach to the ECSL part just now, but you don't commend the police and security sector for how they carry themselves during the elections. What about the citizens themselves? They not deserve commendation for the way they carry themselves largely.
What's to make a good ass security side? Because we grab by 6:37 for go vote, which means we believe say you go exercise your rights. Now we all rights down there for go vote and decide who that you want. The other one I read one quotation I think on the social media. So when you go vote, they are the one who they count to give you the actual result. But never mind. Well, what we should be doing is we tell ourselves thank you, but we don't thank ourselves for say we don't do the proper thing for go exercise your right. At the same time, we for make sure say now we consider this peace. This is a hard-won peace with the fight for. We pack about go Lunge. Fortunately, I was with them when we went to Lunge to go burn the guns and say the war done. For every incitable statement you make, we inflame some kind of be done there dormant. If you come up, wait, well, we not get no side for go. When I talk about economy and everything, Lord, make sure so we talk to people them. Lord, beer. Now that we don't use for do, just in the interest of peace and stability. Now hard word, it hard to understand, but at the same time, we not be ourselves and make sure so we do constructive criticism. You see, this mean I take on, bring this PR system. I hope this time around, As the president not say, magnanimous enough to open an olive branch, to bring all sorts of opinion to come on the table so that we can develop Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone comes first.
What are your prediction for the formation of parliament? 2018 election being very interesting. President Bio win the presidency, but the SLPP as a political party not been get majority of the seats in parliament up until the time where the court cases begin, where them begin for pool seats and some MPs there. And, but initially upon the announcement of the results, APC when I've been main opposition been get majority of the seats in parliament. What are your prediction for these elections?
My prediction for this election, common sense will tell me, say, the first party was a voting individual. Now, you are voting on a district block system. And from what we don't see from the election, the SLPP will get more seats because you have Kailan, we get fixed number of seats allotted, Konneh, Pujehun, even the Falaba, they had made lots of tremendous effort there. I will not say till they announce the result, now they may go to tell you, but if you look at this thing now, it is going towards for proportional representation, that is going towards the government side.
It also ECSLB explained to the public, say, the allocation of their seats, then they now based on the population as well of their location. Then
11.9%. 9 then be put the threshold where the parliament will be there, and they all agree with ESL, they call it electoral body. I be tell say that thing be high, but at the same time, by the number of votes in that particular constituency, with if APC not filed in, they had 11.9, but then get them. That means to say they don't take all the seats.
Yeah, so what they come back to was, so based on those numbers, and then if you piggyback on the situation will be right before even the election period itself, the midterm census, we be there in a situation where the APC then they go and tell them people and say, no make let them come to you. And then after census now, you find out say some of the zone there, you not get much population there. But they still come back and they blame ECSL and blame the public for some of these things. Up until that point, when they tell people and say, no, make let them come to you, how then they affect their own strongholds them?
Well, a very interesting question you ask, but at least ECSL was a little bit accommodating, where it make people on the age they register back. Then they go to the election. But because when they go, I think they go back, give extension with people and go register sometime back. But the point is, you see, the message will be sent to the electorate when that they're supposed to vote me into power. When you begin making the wrong message and receive them, at the end of the why you go cry for when they don't say me, they don't go register. But these are all blame games now. Let us look at the situation now. The mistake has been done. So now each political party is going to go back now and look at the video we play and see that now they can come back and change the strategy. You have to upgrade yourself, not to the same position you did. They don't, APC don't know, so they make mistake when not be called people. But then when they say, who that be register, go vote without you not get the ID card. That was a concession from them to accommodate each other.
Law come back to, so it's quite interesting way, both sides of it, APC not they sit back for see how themselves and bog themselves going into the elections. SLPP self not they sit back for see waiting themselves they do wrong. So both parties, all man they blame incumbent or blame state institution and say this person they in the favor of that person against me. And when sometimes some of the people will come and give positions where some of them people in their mind and think say this is the best position for the country. If you favor APC they say, okay, yeah, we'll support this person. If you not favor, then say, this is SLPP people. Same way, if you favor SLPP, then support, yeah. If you not favor, then say, this person or this institution, now APC. And we just now, post-election, we're in a very confusing thing with local observers, international observers. The whole thing they play out. Whose side is the left salon as a country?
No way, because we say not truthful to ourselves. We all aim for, you see, sometimes this is selfish attitude in life. That is what's giving us a problem. Like you ask now, you begin saying, if you talk Boku, CID go in against now, if you know also. Don't pass that side now. Don't think Sierra Leone, because it's all hands on deck. You go see, say, oh my God, getting biased, but try to be as listenable, professional in your thinking. That is, you are looking at Sierra Leone as the holistic figure. This morning, I be whether green, white, and blue, and give me from that Independence Day, things Sierra Leone. However, another particular, that means to say that come and talk waiting will reasonably make we understand for building Sierra Leone. Like I tell you, say now peace will begin bring now for make sure say somebody be asking me that the question say if you want another bit money, so what bit money for we not consolidate the bit money free. We the count of bit money for but if we not agree for do am, we have to encourage people for make sure say we not begin doing anything. This we don't do answer. They don't come other side.
And so with the conversation where you get to with some people out in the streets, some people not bold enough for come public with their opinion, but in private, then they feel very comfortable for discuss with people their thoughts on how things they go. But how do we progress for consolidate peace where some of the issues we not deal with them yet? We're just moving for consolidate peace when several issues they were ignored. Again, now come back to this same
consolidate peace, but that we do.
Exactly. So still on this same elections process, before ECSL announced the results officially, few hours before the announcement of ECSL the result, you see Parliament and we don't prepare Parliament for the swearing in of President Bio. You would say that because pictures that were on social media, they see some side with and demarcate JMB women's wing, they don't like put side in a Parliament and then decorate nicely for swearing President Bio. That was hours before ECSL announced elections results. So with all that in and again, how do we ignore such things as a country and come say with the consolidate peace? Where do we start the consolidation of the peace process in a way that even though something not all man will satisfy, but everybody make peace with the fact say things that people are concerned about, they'll not be swept under the carpet?
Well, a very interesting question you ask. Not today they swear person, not today they can swear person. Normally in a State House, from what I don't know. And one great thing because this state will be make way pack about them doing a lot on a Sunday. But looking back, say we say again, and you see really the professional. Now we get big problem. Now we misguide we leaders them for me that they do the wrong thing. This is I'm being very honest because the very pertinent question you ask. Because me say ask somebody when they can say, hey, we go Parliament, I say for go do waiting. Before me say go on my television, I watch when they were reading the results and then they came up. But the point here is, this is one salon we get. That is, the law say within, when they announce the result, within 2, 3, 4 hours, you'll be sworn in as president. But because the zealousness of some of our people, they can make sure say the wrong message is sent out to the people, we can distort the conversation.
So the swearing in of the winner of the presidential results, couple of hours after the elections. But again, what brings the question mark to the table is, before they announce results, you would only for salon elections predict say it's either APC or SLPP, because again, from we history, now then are the two major political parties where they either get the win. So you go wonder, like, up until they announce results, it's hard for know if now APC they win or SLPP. So how then do you go ahead and prepare for swearing President Bio, where ECSL not don't announce the election results it. And then you're now in a situation where people they get doubts about, okay, Uda win, are the results genuine? There you get international and local observers. Some go they tell you now, say, oh, it was credible, it was this. Some go they tell you, say, no, we get concerns about this and this. All them things, they contribute towards the tension. But how do we come back for de-escalate the tension and also not turning a blind eye to some of them things here when a genuine concern? The other day, somebody, they say to me genuinely, they laugh about it, say APC and SLPP na tit for tat and depa. Christian Top been doing they say go police. Say now Konneh don't say go court. So how do we genuinely address these things in a way we're going forward? Some of these things, well, we go say something 2023 done, but we don't go to 2028 and we find ourselves dealing with these same problems again. How do we fix things in the interest of Sierra Leone genuinely?
We're not sincere to ourselves because we always dwell on the wrong things, now they capitalize on. You asked a very interesting question. In the sense here, look at the situation in Sierra Leone. Till we come up from that side where you say, hey, now this man we do. You notice when you ask me certain questions, I don't begin to tell you waiting the wrong the last time. We're supposed to have upgraded ourselves to have reflected on some of the wrong that was done. But 30, they are the same thing would go around in circle with the same idea. That's why you be doing it today. What the hell would they do when you see, say, the country for progress, we don't begin say, we they go digital, we they go begin make advance in human capital development. Therefore, they dwell on that thing. That is sending you backwards. So in other words, now forget power. You for make sure, say, the campaign message for the SFP talk and do. When you go up and you see, say, he able to do something. What's the campaign message? If you so, you see, some of the things, the campaign message, wait for resonance for people that vote for you, can be difficult. But then look at the question now. If you look at the results, they say 56%, 60%. Nothing can cause Boko this problem after the 60% result have been, which is 56% plus, and the 40%. Then everything went silent. Now we said they cause this mistrust by being proactive. We are more reactive. Anybody talk now, you begin come with press release and all. A press release, they do things. Make sure, say, you give people the information. Confidence building for tell person, what that's preemptor and tell them the truth. Now so and so with the go. Now so and so with the go. You notice, say, it's good even the result now then they publish on this Saturday. That's when they say 4 o'clock. But at the same time, it has cooled the nerves of people. Because now the basic thing they attract people now the full town election. But God will make it come. And then we serve not for the flame, incitable statements to our people. Because we are tired of this thing. Let us make sure now we look now how we will reconstruct freedom as a nation for improved development. Because tomorrow you can't say sabotage.
So we elections then now don't they go away? After elections, we always get, doubts, suspicions here and there. I remember 2012 elections, President Bio challenged the election results in a court.
Yes.
What do we need for do as a country for go forward way after elections? We're not there in a situation where, some chaos, they be, people go fan flames and they say, oh, this not right, oh, this right. What do we need for do? Let's use this as a learning process. Pre-election, election, and post-election. What do we need for do for enhanced level of transparency to a point where you well us, it for like point and pan this person say, no, you tiff me when you go get other person. What do we need for do for the get it right going forward?
Beautiful question. Let's put them back from football business. We're black when allowed one person must lose. That's a game, not so. But for magnanimous enough, when we begin accept defeat and congratulate and concede to the winner, then you don't begin go the one step go forward for say we are advancing. Like I'll go not be believe say a loss or the camp manual come, but at the same time, not to excuse what we say for can do this same wrong thing that we do in America for can do or the same thing in Nigeria. We therefore believe in a system, but because we are always reactive than the proactive. Now that is some of our problem. After the result of 60%, everything went silent and not be IRN or Boku the talk Boku in the so it creates room, and then the social media. It is good, but then it has some negative things coming in that influence some of the things that so negative that people are trying to have doubt within the system. Let us make sure this time around we believe in institution we create. If we not believe in institution we create, forget about the individual we did, but in self get integrity, get credibility. If one thing we tell me say, auto Christian they talk about say, oh, go police and everything. Every year they mention the same thing. So at the same time, the next motive will make sure say at the end of the term or tenure of office, I did a wonderful job by creating peace and stability in Israel, not to create chaos.
But again, we still they ask again, like for all angles, all sides. Again, I piggyback on APC where they tell them people and say, no, make them consona. Then can out to a situation where their own strongholds are now depopulated. When I then tell them people and say, no, make them consona. So going again, before election and after election, what thing we need for do, like for the political parties then now, what thing they need for the do, what thing are their own contribution for making the electioneering process become transparent?
We're not transparent. On one for election. I don't go with the fact that say election to every 100%. Agreed. But at least make a semblance of doing the proper thing. If we not make the semblance of doing it, because like what we can keep the fire burning. As you see them begin to election for make you keep your supporter, they say, hey, I try, make you not get driver or beach spot to cover for driver and back. You will forget that false hope, false sense of security, say, with the win, I hope they will give. Not all thing then they will give. That is why I said this election should be a learning curve. They did it in 2012. 18, it will start accepting defeat and move along and go back to the drawing board for me to say that this will go wrong. And then this will show us this one will be a learning point for the opposition that also every time for make all transfer no longer register. When I don't talk, if you want to know personal parliament, the law, it's within the ambit of the law. Go and do your own bit and allow the rest to be on public judgment and opinion. But when you begin do that thing there now, what's happening now? By the time I tell people go vote, not enough for qualify, they go vote, they beat you now. No. And the PR system is based on so that nobody that will not take online the one try for do without. But they not even make people understand the merits of the PR system. Now all the negative thing that they talk. But at the same time, look at the results will come out. That SFP might have more seats than APC, but I've never had the results yet. But if you look at the way they voted within all their stronghold, it can be clear, they will clear everything. And the other side are pick and they pick. And then whether you like it or not, free to have about minimum 25 to 30% of SFP vote. Because it's winner take out, that's why nobody show. So if we don't look at all these things for ourselves and make sure say next time, now we look at the thing and be, you see, when you become manipulative and you leave the strategy, and the strategic opinion thing might be used to make sure say it go out and get what they want. So area then they will beaucoup pressing no ever go in go day. So they will compensate him for that. Say, one day nobody no care. Give vote, look like Falaba. And that terrain is very, very rough up to Koinadugu. I heard that one when Pamara was there. We went in that area. So suddenly I passed with that Excel bike for each day.
As you put some conversations in the way you get with people, some people I don't hear you don't mention, say, the kind of way President Bio campaign so for in re-election, we mostly don't get a first-time president. We don't put this much effort into campaigning for in re-election as President Bio do. Does this also contribute for give President Bio in victory as opposed to the allegations here and there about ECSL don't cheat, they don't give SLPP? The efforts where President Bio and in team puts for campaign, as you don't say, go places then way some presidents are not be even done mass before. Mm-hmm. This EPAN genuinely for getting re-election
because it was calculated. Don't forget, say, I don't tell you, say, if you want something, put attention to him. You know, want to be one-time president, so you go all out to make sure, say, he reach, like this talk can do now. See, I'm too much not free tongue. But you look at the clips that were coming out from the TV when she was going out, his working visits. Give lights here, give this here. Not to campaign myself, but at the same time, the ordinary man wants to make sure, say, help me, assist me, I get water. Like get small like that. They have so many solar panel lights all around the country. Where you not only the talk can do, I be promising that I'll not be able to go, but now economy and what I will do. The hardship, now global business. How do you want to associate that in? You can't divorce alone. The global world is going on. You say I want candle, no. You can forget that hardship there. And this is the first time we use real money for make election. Whether you like it or not. That will cause some very strain in the economy for salaries and everything. But nobody not talk about that, don't you so? But then look at back, say, we are looking at, let us find positive things to come about with for development. Because if you go back, it will go back the same way we come up 5 years ago. And now make we go begin say sabotage. Let us make sure human capital development will increase them, not to go waska, go begin take man for go put tina gota. I mean, they say they come with technological thing. I hope it will work.
You mentioned a very interesting point. The first time we as a country fund we own elections. Mm-hmm. By English, they can say put your money where your mouth is, or put your mouth where your money is. I know exactly the phrase. But being that now we pay for your elections, who stake the international community gets now, especially where you get some international observers where they cast blames or sort of raise doubts and question marks with how ECSL carry themselves and the announcement of the results. They question the credibility and transparency of it. Who stake then gets when I will fund your elections?
You ask me the question, I will tell you simple. We are a sovereign nation. Your duty is to observe. But your comments and recommendation have to be taken by the government into consideration for subsequent election. The lapses should be corrected. But the point here is simple. If we have said that already we cry foul upon the Electoral Commission, it creates doubt on my mind. Then I don't say if the Electoral Commission was very, very proactive, when they write to you, you answer. Nothing can cause you, we are always down as human index. When they send a questionnaire to the ministries, they don't answer them. We are former developed than Liberia, but because when they send indexing to them, then they answer the questions, and then that's the way they can, answer how they will categorize you and place you in order of priority. Now we have a problem down there. So in other words, the international community will can't say that. If there was chaos, then they will can't serve a referee. But thank God, it went out peacefully. So no international community, only thing I can give you now a recommendation, say, the way we see this thing, if you have done it this way, we could have been better for Sierra Leone. And that's all. We're a sovereign nation. Now, ask a simple question. You go to call the council, you get money for fund again, you don't make them pay salary again, I say government will pay salary this month. These are some of the monies that government use to make sure we get a peaceful election. Not everything will be 100% credible, but give Sierra for God's sake, that we don't go to election. That one migration you buy, say 800 or 600 in a pocket for you buy pepper and about and make sure you keep something reserved. But now we don't see nothing no go, and the tempo don't come down. Now it's only again for carry too. Now go back Safu and go later.
And we go back Safu just not been to money. If we go get the results, I don't think the ECSL don't like fully stand by for announce it, because if that's not the situation, we don't get the prompt and notification, say, for link to Webin to Money team. But we hope we'll say we'll link with them anytime soon, and then we'll give you that update there as ECSL about to announce the rest of the results. But I'll go back to the day where ECSL announced the results for the presidential elections. At some point, the National Returning Officer, they talk about some of the areas them where they quarantine the boxes because of certain issues. Again, generally, what's now your overall assessment of the way the ECSL don't handle the electioneering process from pre-election, election, and now post-election? Again, considering some of the issues where they don't get with independent candidates, main opposition, and some other opposition parties them. What's now your assessment of how they carry themselves?
In terms of, okay, let's look at what I understand you talk. I don't tell you, say, we have to be proactive than reactive. All this stuff from the one, we are reacting by press release. We should have looked at certain things, reply immediately, and say it's under active consideration. So
members send me a question specifically on ECSL, now, how ECSL they don't carry themselves from before election, and now. I don't
tell you, say, they're not proactive, they are only reactive, which means that gives room for suspicion. Because if I don't tell you, say, now, take for instance, physical thing, when they go do manual accounting, then you come, the opposition say, oh, not a manual accounting, but then they are the representation. Not today they cry from there and then. Not of a can put press release. When we don't agree, make sure you see it to the letter. But at least the Electoral Commission try, because they get their own mandate, they get everything. But sometimes we don't even look at the mandate, the way we empower them. Now, what the politicians tell we now can therefore believe. Sometimes it is skewed to their own advantage because of the weakness of breakdown in communication, cause all these things for make false rumor to go about and they accept them. If you have been proactive, as in talks, you come out to release, don't wait 5-6 days. Now they create this doubt and suspicion. Let's not be proactive in our thinking these days. Now upgrade with it, not come up from the past. Because they said that we do on the last time, no answer that side. Make sure so what you believe in what you're doing. It's reasonably acceptable within the community. Go ahead and do it.
What are the steps then we need for be done right now for get the nation back on the same page as one nation? What's in need for be done right now for bring unity? I
began one paper that give me. First of all, you have to make sure people accept the result. Your utterances, at least the situation now we don't get it. They have toned down this fire for fire, all this kind of. This is how violent was. But forget peace, you get forget peace, conflict. You have to get the violence and the thing. But at the same time, use what you have now to tone the nerve down of the people that do low acceptance, not a bit appeal for swallow. But in the interest of, they say in the interest of peace and stability, you scatter, yeah. What is benefit you will get? No benefit. But at the same time, let them understand the situation. And it's a give and take. And that is why the olive branch have to be sincere. Bring people of all shades of opinion together, not to be winner take. Now that winner take on, we could come up from winner take on, we go to proportional representation. That is, each and every minority voice will be heard. And that's the opportunity now to tone down our rhetoric and make sure now you think Sierra Leone and bring people together. That is talk and do it properly so that it can be accepted.
And the other political parties, I know one call them smaller because on the issues with, for Leo, they refer to them as smaller political parties.
Yes.
But and the other political party, them aside from the APC and the SLPP, what's in your opinion on how the election results come? NDA. Now then get the third highest votes.
Yes.
What's in your opinion on the other political parties, then their performances over the years?
They were not doing much, but because of the 3 million people and the way the election has been conducted, they came out what? They not a Palapa party, but then people voted for them. And then the other party we feel will say, go make noise, go make mark, no maker.
Which was?
PMDC. Because I thought the ones in Kono would have voted, but the people in Kono reacted by voting the SLPP. The 4 that was in the seat lost it because of because they were on the ticket of PMD. So I thought 1 or 2 would have come up. But if you look at the whole situation, the South and the Southeast voted the one voice because of the campaign message. I'm not going to do post-mortem for them. That is why I said political parties should go back to the drawing board.
So are there chances for NDA forget representation in Parliament?
The number is too small. 11.9 is a high threshold.
But the number of votes will they be able to pull? What's in your assessment of that? The reactions from people have been very interesting that, NDA pulls such an amount. But what's in your assessment of that?
My assessment is that you're giving smaller parties to be on the limelight. But it is the upper. The way they conducted themselves, looking for greener pastures within the governing side, needs more to be desired. Build your own party and try to make sure people accept you and give you votes.
With that performance, the performance of first NGC and C4C in 2018, so now the performance of NDA, is there hope for the growth or success of a third force Nasalone in terms of politics?
I won't call it third force, but there's hope that political...
Well, an option aside APC and SLPP.
That's an option. They were able to develop the party and people will vote for them by your message you're giving to them.
In your estimation, how much longer do you think it will take Nasalone for another political party, way not to APC or SLPP, go get to that point of sometimes even one day winning presidency in a saloon?
Take the next 10 years. Let me change our psyche and our attitude.
You think there's a possibility of that?
There's a possibility, but it's a slim chance.
Of a third option?
Yes, there's a third option. We missed it in 96. We missed it in when Paikaba was there. We missed it. The Kaifa Smart, the Temu Bangwa, and Charles Magai. So in other words now, you find out that if we had disbanded these 2 major parties, maybe would have had enough chance to grow in other parties to stand the test of time. But we lost it, so that is we have to be like Labour and Conservative, Democrat and Republican.
Would a coalition of all the other political parties together as one be a strong force as opposition against APC and SLPP?
Well, the coalition got to be between SLPP and APC to guide the smaller parties together. Let us see how it pans out.
Yeah, but my question is, them other political parties, then they all together, would they form a strong force against APC and SLPP?
No, because everybody is looking at the presidency. They're not looking at Sierra Leone as the entity. Everyone will be president, and that's all.
All right, Honorable Bamidele Chidi, thank you for the. We continue for the. We'll get for day at ECSL announce the remaining, results. Then, but we'll go back now into money and check with them, see what's in the updates here and so far as we expect the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, the ECSL, for make the announcement of the remaining election results since Sierra Leoneans then been go decide June 24 now the polls and then leaders them. We don't know the result of the presidential election. We don't know who that's not the winner. President Julius Maada Bio being secure a second term re-election through the June 24 polls. Now we look forward to Udana, the mayor of Freetown, the members of parliament, how many seats SLPP get, how many seats APC get, how many other political parties get seats, independent candidates, and anyone they will succeed. We look forward to all their results and then the councillor then as well. Yeah, ECSL get for announce the results as well today. So everybody just stay on standby, they follow and wait for you when ECSL will make the announcement. So it will be clear on all the election results for the June 24 polls.
Field with the lowest transfer fees, best exchange rates, and 24/7 responsive customer service. More users upgraded to level 3, and the platform welcomes more subscribers every day. The November 2021 promo of sending money home with no charge and the best exchange rates increased users and the volume of transactions per day. Now, TransferPay is excited to announce the extension of the zero transfer fees and best exchange rates promotion. But to keep these alive, TransferPay needs at least 1,500 additional subscribers on the platform. So join the Refer a Relative Challenge or Refer a Friend Challenge now. Invite 3 or more family members and friends in America to register and use TransferPay online money transfer. You know me, I'm Samuel Wise Bangura, and I'm participating in this campaign to help 100% Sierra Leonean business grow. My friends and fans, when we're meeting cash from the US, please use TransferPay online money transfer so we make sending money home from America zero transfer fees with the best exchange rate. What are you waiting for? It's fast, easy, secure, and convenient to use the platform. Hey you, yes you in the United Kingdom, I bring you exciting news. Over 10,000 plus Sierra Leoneans have benefited since TransferPay launched its money transfer service in the US. TransferPay is now in the UK. You know what we offer? We are in every district across Sierra Leone, so receivers can instantly and conveniently receive their remittances. You can collect your remittances in leons or in dollars. For those of you collecting in leons, it's zero transfer. For those of you who would want to collect in dollars, it's the lowest transfer fee ever. Enjoy the best exchange rate with TransferPay. More exciting is that you can receive in cash from any of the Ishmael FX pickup points across the country or their head office at 34 Regent Road, People's Pharmacy Building. You can also receive your remittances through mobile wallet and your bank accounts. TransferPay is fast, reliable, and user-friendly. To enjoy all the goodies, register now on www.transferpay.co.uk or download the app on Google Play Store and App Store.
Welcome to Chicken Town, where the food is nice and the vibe is right. Let your hair down, relax, and treat yourself to a piece of chicken from just 15,000 leones. For you early risers, start your day with a delicious breakfast at our Charlotte Street branch. We also deliver. Call 074 800 700 or 080 600 700 to order a delivery straight to your door. Chicken Town at 15 Charlotte Street and 39 Old Railway Line, Freetown. Sweet you mort, sweet you life.
Peace is essential in every nation we know. A safer place to live, safeguarding human security. Let us make Sierra Leone a safer planet for us all to live in peace. This is not the message. We come up from National Early Warning and Response Mechanism Coordinating Center, Sierra Leone.
Master Tech on the beat.
Let me stop them here. We go make salon no get peace. Let me stop them here. We go make salon no get peace. Adi you against for your we are not for your this word. And you again for see. We are not for OPUINC. Because cola to people like you say, oh, better pass gentry. Oh, cola to better pass gentry. Salon make we think, oh, and make we put we country salon first. Make we stop them here, so we go bring Kuskas now we country. Oh. Yeah, mama salon. Make we stop for political manner in the streets. Make we stop for spread hate speeches in this country. Make we stop political intimidation, I say. Make we stop for take the law, now we are. Make we stop for kill security, man, them now we family them. Stay away from political dishonesty, I say. Stop the lawlessness and obey the law. Stop misinformation and dissemination of bad news. Yeah.
Through that big day, but Bintumani is studioed already for Giwi updates on waiting the go on. So I'll join with colleagues then at Bintumani now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone, I want to welcome you to another session of announcement of results. For today's session, we will be announcing the results for parliamentary and local council elections. So without much ado, I will hand over to the Chief Electoral Commissioner, Mr. Mohamed Konneh. Thank you.
Thank you, Executive Secretary. Before I proceed to reading of the results, we are starting with the parliamentary, and then we'll continue with the chairpersons and mayoral candidates. Then thereafter, we'll take a break. Next week, we will read out the lower level of the council. First, I want to express my gratitude to Almighty Allah for giving me the opportunity to fulfill my promise I made in the well of Parliament that I will want to conduct elections in a peaceful atmosphere with everyone going about their normal business. I want to thank my colleague commissioners for the great teamwork and commitment. I want to thank my staff who have worked tirelessly with all the intimidation and violence. I am proud of your professionalism. I want to appreciate our partners, the PPRC, the security sector, the Peace Commission, Human Rights Commission, the Election Conflict Prevention and Mediation Working Group, the media, and the press. I also want to thank election observers, both local and international. I want to appreciate the government of Sierra Leone for providing the funds and multilateral partners for contribution towards a successful elections. I want to commend the people of Sierra Leone, including political parties, for their peaceful conduct. And I want to commend all of us for the teamwork, collaboration, and the commitment to protect and promote democracy in Sierra Leone. With this, I now proceed to the results. Declaration of result for members of Parliament election held on 24th June 2023. Kailan. Analysis of results. 634 out of 679 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 93.4% of the polling stations in the districts. The total number of votes cast is 179,095. The percentage voter turnout is 93.1%. There were 660 invalid votes, representing 0.36% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in Kailan district or political party. Name of political party or independent candidate. All People's Congress, 6,814, representing 3.82%. Therefore, they did not meet the threshold of 11.9%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 171,622, representing 96.18%. Therefore, they meet the requirement of 11.9%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the foreign political party or candidate for members of Parliament in Kailan District. Sierra Leone People's Party, 10 seats. Signed 1st July 2023. Kenema District, 1,114 out of 1,127 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 98.8% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 286,694. The percentage voter turnout is 90.1%. There were 1,166 invalid votes, representing 0.38% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Kenema district. All People's Congress, 11,541 votes, representing 4.04%. Bonthe Alusai Independent Candidate, 1,508, representing 0.53%. Matia Peter, 1,473, representing 0.52%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 271,066, representing 94.92%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the foreign political party for members of Parliament in Kenema District. Sierra Leone People's Party, 12 seats. Kono District. 610 out of 616 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.02% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 124,129. The percentage voter turnout is 71.32%. There were 233 invalid votes, representing 0.18% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Kono District. All People's Congress, 32,067, representing 25.88%. It means it is above the threshold. Chasa, 853, representing 0.69%. Chendeka Unisa Air, 981, representing 0.79%. Darami Ibrahim Khalid, 2,347, representing 1.89%. Foyo Air Emmanuel, 451, representing 0.36%. Bonda Stephen Komba, 538, representing 43%, 0.43%. Biwa Sia Tabita, 1,312, representing 1.06%. National Unity and Reconciliation Party, 359, representing 0.29%. People's Movement for Democratic Change, 9,911, representing 8%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 74,290, representing 59.96%. William Brian Joshua Biango, 787, representing 0.64%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the foreign political parties for members of Parliament in Kono District. All People's Congress, 3 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 7 seats. Bombali District. 704 out of 721 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.6% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 151,111. The percentage voter turnout is 74.67%. There were 715 invalid votes, representing 0.46% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Bombali district. All People's Congress, 140,566, representing 91.64%. Sanko Hassan, 1,545, representing 1.01%. Sise Goodson Kande, 924, representing 0.6%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 10,361, representing 6.75%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats. The number of seats won by members of Parliament. All People's Congress, 8 seats. Falaba District, 238 out of 250 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 95.2% of all polling stations in the district. The number of votes cast, 38,958. The percentage voter turnout is 56.32%. There were 245 invalid votes, representing 0.62% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Falaba District. All People's Congress, 16,606, representing 42.90%. National Democratic Alliance, 994, representing 2.57%. National Ground Coalition, 1,189, representing 3.07%. Republic National Independent Party, 278, representing 0.72%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 19,646, representing 50.75%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the foreign political party for members of Parliament. All People's Congress, 2 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 2 seats. Koinadugu District, 291 out of 309 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 94.17% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 53,273. The percentage voter turnout is 62.47%. There were 298 invalid votes, representing 0.55% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Koinadugu District. All People's Congress, 33,127, representing 62.53%. Mara Kaifala, 2,126, representing 4.01%. National Democratic Alliance, 492 representing 0.93%. National Grand Coalition, 912 representing 1.72%. Republic National Independent Party, 282 representing 0.53%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 16,036 representing 30.27%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political party for member of Parliament in Koinadugu District. All People's Congress, 3 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 1 seat. Tonkolili District. 721 out of 729 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 98.9% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 156,214. The percentage voter turnout is 75.27%. There were 743 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of the vote cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each political party or candidate in Tonkolili District. All People's Congress, 125,015, representing 80.41%. Bangura John Ahmed, 3,592, representing 2.31%. Conte Alpha Jonathan, 5,052, representing 3.25%. Kamara Fode S, 1,513, representing 0.97%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 20,299, representing 13.06%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38 of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in Tonkolili District. All People's Congress, 9 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 1 seat. (543 out of 547 polling, Cambia. 543 out of 547 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.62% of all polling stations in the district. The number of valid vote cast is 103,393. Percentage voter turnout is 67.73%. There were 545 invalid votes, representing 0.52% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each political party or candidate in Cambia District. All People's Congress, 57,970, representing 56.36%. National Democratic Alliance, 2,333, representing 2.27%. National Grand Coalition, 7,381, representing 7.18%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 35,164, representing 34.19%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in Cambia District. All People's Congress, 4 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 2 seats. Karina district. 356 out of 359 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 99.16% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 75,472. The percentage voter turnout is 75.24%. There were 375 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Karina district. All People's Congress, 54,058, representing 71.97%. Mansare Musa, 15 votes, representing 0.02%. Revolutionary United Front Party, 1,502, representing 2%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 19,540, representing 26.01%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in Karina district. All People's Congress, 4 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 1 seat. Loko district. 831 out of 836 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.40% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 171,036. The percentage voter turnout is 72.16%. There were 831 invalid votes, representing 0.48% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Loko district. All People's Congress, 101,142, representing 59.42%. Fofana Usman, 2,267, representing 1.33%. Cambia Mohamed, 927, representing 0.54%. Kuruma Abdul Rahman, 2,373, representing 1.39%. National Grand Coalition, 2,424, representing 1.42%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 60,071, representing 35.88%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in Karina district. Sorry. Loko. Yeah. Loko. All People's Congress, 6 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 4 seats. Both districts. 1,087 out of 1,106 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 98.28% of all polling districts. The total number of votes cast is 247,368. The percentage voter turnout is 77.98%. There were 815 invalid votes, representing 0.32%. of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in both districts. All People's Congress, 24,148, representing 9.79%. Clinton Samuel, 26 votes, representing 0.01%. National Unity and Reconciliation Party, 641, representing 0.26%. People's Movement for Democratic Change, 3,262, representing 1.32%. Sako Lansana, 2,607, representing 1.06%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 215,025, representing 87.21%. Sini Fuad Patrick, 843, representing 0.34%. Suleiman Usman, 1 vote, representing 0.00%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political party for members of Parliament in both districts. Sierra Leone People's Party, 12 seats. Bonthe District. Analysis of the results. 372 out of 384 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 96.87% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 86,411. Percentage voter turnout is 80.27%. There were 363 invalid votes representing 0.42% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Bonthe District. All People's Congress, 4,154, representing 4.83%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 81,894, representing 95.17%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political party for Member of Parliament in both districts. Sierra Leone, Bonthe District. Sierra Leone People's Party, 5 seats. $531 out of 5, Moyamba District. 531 out of 537 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 98.88% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 110,192. The percentage voter turnout is 73.26%. There were 533 invalid votes, representing 0.48% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Moyamba District. All People's Congress, 18,825, representing 17.17%. Ben Roy Charles, 1,279, representing 1.17%. National Grand Coalition, 2,029, representing 1.85%. People's Movement for Democratic Change, 1,767, representing 1.61%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 85,759, representing 78.21%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in Moyamba District. All People's Congress, 1 seat. Sierra Leone People's Party, 5 seats. Pujehun District. 421 out of 422 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.76% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 113,456. The percentage voter turnout is 97.87%. There were 632 invalid votes, representing 0.55% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in Pujehun District. All People's Congress, 4,961, representing 4.40%. People's Movement for Democratic Change, 2,450, representing 2.17%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 105,413, representing 93.43%. In exercise of the power on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution, as amended pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political party for Member of Parliament in Pujehun District. Sierra Leone People's Party, 7 seats. Analysis of results, Western Area Rural. 1,151 out of 1,161 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 99.1% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 336,664. The percentage voter turnout is 98.5%. There were 1,499 invalid votes, representing 0.44% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each political party or candidate in Western Area Rural District. All People's Congress, 175,410, representing 52.34%. Kailan Jene Grace, 2,509, representing 0.75%. Kamara Abdullahi Driscoll, 2,694, representing 0.80%. National Ground Coalition, 1,751, representing 0.52%. Peace and Liberation Party, 1,131, representing 0.34%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 151,670, representing 45.25%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38A of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties or candidate or independent candidates for members of Parliament in Western Area Urban, Rural. All People's Congress, 5 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 5 seats. Western Area Urban. 2,039 out of 2,049 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 99.56% 5% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 559,398. The percentage voter turnout is 93.5%. There were 1,596 invalid votes, representing 0.28% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as a national returning officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each political party or candidate in the Western Area Urban. All People's Congress, 307,479, representing 55.12%. Cole Dennis Desmond Frederick, 1,544, representing 0.28%. Kanu Ali Sani, 676, representing 0.12%. Paka Abdul, 1,386, representing 0.25%. National Grand Coalition, 2,483, representing 0.45%. People's Democratic Party, 516, representing 0.09%. Richard Chini, 516, representing 0.09%. Sise Ahmed Sanusi, 2,962, representing 0.53%. Sierra Leone People's Party, 239,403, representing 42.92%. Wicks Thomas Christian, 837, representing 0.15%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 38 of the 1991 Constitution as amended, pursuant to Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby declare the number of seats won by the following political parties for members of Parliament in the Western Area Urban Districts. All People's Congress, 9 seats. Sierra Leone People's Party, 7 seats. Okay. That's the end of the parliamentary results. We proceed to declaration of results for chairpersons elections held on 24th June 2023. 661 out of 6 Kailan districts, 61 out of 679 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 97.3% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 100,899. The percentage voter turnout is 80.53%. There were 666 invalid votes, representing 0.42% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Kailan district. Lami Sa Ahmed, 143,056, representing 92%. Lengo Mori Sam, 1,791, representing 1.16%. Gobe Jusu Jaka, 9,386, representing 6.09%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Lami Sa Ahmed of the SLPP, having polled 143,056 of the valid votes cast, representing 92.75% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Chairman, Kailan District. Kenema District. 6 139 out of 732 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 87.29% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of vote cast is 150,863. The percentage voter turnout is 73.38%. There were 653 invalid votes, representing 0.43% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson elections in Kenema district. Farmer Mori Momo, 797, 0.5 or 0.53%. Selu George, 9,134, representing 6.08%. Sise Mohamed Amadou, 140,279, representing 93.39%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sise Mohamed Amadou of the SLPP, having pooled 140,279 of valid votes cast, representing 93.39% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, elected Chairman Kenema District Council. Kenema City, 390 out of 395 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 98.73% of the polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 78,416. The percentage voter turnout is 68.98%. There were 385 invalid votes, representing 0.49% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in Kenema City. Bio Thomas Karimu, 66,838, representing 85%. Bokari Asanatu Sao, 213, representing 0.27%. Fofana Jaminatu, 217, representing 0.28%. Kamara Hawa, 164, representing 0.21%. Sano Bokari, 130, representing 0.17%. Shaw Abdul Karim, 331, representing 0.42%. Tamu Emmanuel, 10,138, representing 12.99%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Bio Thomas Karimu of SLPP, having polled 6,838 of valid votes cast, representing 85.66% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, mayoral elections, duly elected Mayor Kenema City Council. Kono District Chairperson. 380 out of 388 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 97.9% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 74,154. The percentage voter turnout is 68.61%. There were 539 invalid votes, representing 0.72% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson elections in Kono District. Bondo Solomon Sa, 8,552, representing 11.59%. Bawa Komba, 18,391, representing 24.93%. Sheku Augustine Sa, 45,592, representing 61.80%. Yamba Ibrahim Tamba, 1,237, representing 1.68%. In exercise of the power on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 2 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Sheku Augustine Sa of the SLPP, having polled 45,592 of valid votes cast, representing 61.80% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 elections, chairperson, duly elected as chairperson, Kono District Council. Koinadugu New Sembel City. 228 out of 228 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 100% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 47,289. The percentage voter turnout is 71.69%. There were 380 invalid votes, representing 0.80% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral election in Koinadugu New Sembel City. Bonga Sa, 321, representing 0.68%. Bonge Aminata, 407, representing 0.87%. Commander William Ibrahim, 14,669, representing 31.27%. Banda Kiwa Air James, 5,125, representing 10.93%. Sam Komba, 25,423, representing 54.20%. Saul Mohamed Prejo, 964, representing 2.06%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as a National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sam Komba of SLPP, having polled 25,423 of valid votes cast, representing 54.20% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 mayoral elections, duly elected Mayor Koinadugu New Sembel City Council. Bombali City. 236 out of 201 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.24% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 42,091. The percentage voter turnout is 58.86%. There were 197 invalid votes, representing 0.46% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in Bombali district. Cambia Ramatu, 112, representing 0.27%. Kamara Abdel Rahman, 194, representing 0.46%. Kamara Abu Bakr, 39,122, representing 93%. Kamara Amadu, 2,358, representing 5.63%. Kamara Fatmata Alimatu, 77, representing 0.18%. Kuruma Alaji, 31 votes, representing 0.07%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as a national returning officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Kamara Abubakar of the APC, having polled 39,122 of valid votes cast, representing 93.38% of total valid vote cast, in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor Makeni City Council. Districts, Bombali. 471 out of 480 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 98.12% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of vote cast is 101,581. The percentage voter turnout is 75.31%. There were 462 invalid votes, representing 0.45% of the vote cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson's election in Bombali district. Bangura Amra, 96, representing 0.89%. Konteh Bono, 517, representing 0.51%. Dabo Ali, 7,679, representing 7.59%. Sise Mohamed Bakar Baba, 92,027, representing 91.01%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Sise Mohamed Mark Baba of the APC, having polled 157,000 having polled 92,027 valid vote cast, representing 91.01% of the total vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairperson Bombali District Council. Falaba District. 234 out of 250 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 93.6% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 38,384. The percentage voter turnout is 55.4%. There were 247 invalid votes, representing 0.64% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Falaba District. Kamara Sunkari Sarah, 557, representing 1.37%. Kabo Lansana Emmanuel, 17,257, representing 42.3%. Mara Sao, 345, representing 0.85%. Sise Ibrahim Sori, 21,077, representing 51.68%. Ture Mark Ibrahim, 685, representing 1.68%. Ture Mohamed Fereke, 860, representing 2.11%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer by Section 98 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sise Ibrahim Sori of the APC, having pulled 21,077 of valid votes, casting 51.68%. APC. It's 51.68% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson duly elected chairman Falaba district. I think there's an error here. We need to make it. I've just been reminded by the regional commissioner. It's not APC of Falaba district. Yeah, you can send that already. Okay. Koinadugu district. Commissioner. Okay. Okay, we have to understand our staff are working on a very tight schedule, which I gave them. And therefore, some of the, you see, that's the problem when you're working on templates. You have a developed template and then you just fill in the relevant information. So these mistakes are bound to happen. And there we go back and do the correction to read the corrected results. These are the results. Kamara Sunkari Sarah, 557,000, representing 1.37%. Kabo Lansana Emmanuel, 17,257, representing 42.32%. Mara Sao, 345, representing 0.85%. Sise Ibrahim Sori, 21,077, representing 51.68%. Toure Mark Ibrahim, 685, representing 1.68%. And Toure Mohamed Ferrick, 860, representing 2.11%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Sise Ibrahim Sori of the SLPP, having pulled 21,077 of valid votes cast, representing 51.68% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman Falaba district. Koinadugu. 9 out of 309 polling station results were entered into the result database, 100% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 59,169. The percentage voter turnout is 69.43%. There were 325 invalid votes, representing 0.54% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Koinadugu district. Faro Sheku, 815, representing 1.39%. Jalo Alpha Usman, 417, representing 0.71%. Kaba Kaba, 568, representing 0.97%. Cabo Lawrence Tete, 37,935, representing 64.47%. Kurishi Fode Mamadou, 17,857, representing 30.35%, and Mansare Mamadou, 307, representing 0.52%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the national officer by Section 2 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Cabo Lawrence Tete of the APC, having pulled 37,935 of valid vote cards representing 64.47% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson's election, duly elected chairman, Koinadugu District Council. Tonkolili District. 720 out of 729 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 98.76% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 157,321. The percentage voter turnout is 75.8%. There were 720 invalid votes, representing 0.45% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as the National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Tonkolili District. Ufana Musa Kemo, 1,816, representing 1.16%. Loko Fatmata, 809, representing 0.52%. Sise Alusain Abdullahi, 21,087, representing 13.47%. Sise Mohamed Mamadi, 3,057, representing 1.95%. Sise Yabum, 129,832, representing 82.9%. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Sise Yabum of the All People's Congress, having pulled 129,832 of valid vote cards representing 82.91% of total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman or chairperson Tonkolili District. Cambia District. 513 out of 547 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 93.78% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 71,500. The percentage voter turnout is 46.86%. There were 376 invalid votes, representing 0.52% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson's election in the Cambia district. Bangura Mohamed Yahya, 3,867, representing 5.43%. Kamara Amadou Aisatu, 840, representing 1.18%. Kamara Mohammed Alim, 20,267, representing 28.48%. Mansare Mohammed Abdu Mansariko, 45,429, representing 0.84%. Morgan Sarah, 756, representing 1.06%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act, I hereby certify that Mohammed Abdul Mansariko of the APC, having pulled 45,429 of the valid vote cast, representing 63.84% of total votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Cambia district. Karina district. 348 out of 359 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 96.93% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 75,357. The percentage voter turnout is 75.13%. There were 359 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Karina district. Bayo, sir, 1,349, representing 1.8%. Sako, Teresa, 10,319, representing 13.76%. Ture Abdul Kande, 3,330, representing 84.44%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as National Returning Officer, Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Ture Abdul Kande of the APC, having pooled 63,330 of valid votes cast, representing 84.44% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Karina district. Loko district. 754 out of 708 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 99.47% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 153,099. The percentage voter turnout is 70.96%. There were 754 invalid votes, representing 0.49% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Loko district. Kaba Lami, 1,509, representing 0.99%. Kamara Suri Ibrahim, 1,346, representing 0.88%. Sako Sheku Tijan, 128,549, representing 84.38%. Suma Fatmata Bambe, 20,941, representing 13.75%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify Sako Sheku Tijan of the APC, having pooled 128,549 of valid votes cast, representing 84.38% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman for Loko district. For Loko city, 70 out of 78 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 89.74% of the polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 15,174. The percentage voter turnout is 71.27%. There were 77 invalid votes, representing 0.50% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in Poloko district, in Poloko city. Kamara Ibrahim, 2,528, representing 16.75%. Kamara Tigdake Doli, 93, representing 0.62%. Tarawali Aliu Badara, 12,310, representing 81%. Tarawali Salimatu Ibrahim, 94, representing 0.62%. Ture Mariatu Saudatu, 72 votes, representing 0.48%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Tawari Aliyu Badara of the APC, having pooled 12,310 of valid vote cast representing 81.54% of the total votes, valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor Poloko City Council. Bo City, 236 out of 240 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.92% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 42,091. The percentage voter turnout is 58.86%. There were 197 invalid votes, representing 0.46% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as a National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in Bombali, in both districts. There's an error here. Cannot complete it. Bo districts. 679 out of 719 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 94.43% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 134,841. The percentage voter turnout is 66.24%. There were 568 invalid votes, representing 0.42% of the vote cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in both districts. Indoa Victor Kose, 124,265, representing 92.55%. Kabo Saleh Mariam Augusta, 7,438, representing 5.54%. Salia Fode Mori, 864, representing 0.64%. Sharif Mohamed Mambu, 1,706, representing 1.27%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Hindoa Victor Kose of the SLPP, having pooled 124,265 of valid vote cast representing 92.55% of the total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairperson both districts. Bonthe districts. 342 out of 366 of polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 93.44% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 81.619%, it's 81,619. The percentage voter turnout is 78.51%. There were 341 invalid votes, representing 0.41% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Bonthe district. Aliyu Mustafa Moedebo, 584, representing 0.72%. Conte Asiatu, 77,681, representing 95.57%. Oni Teresa Tene, 3,013, representing 3.71%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I certify that Conte Asiatu of the SLPP having pulled 77,681 of valid votes, representing 95.57% of the total vote cast in the 24 June 2023 chairperson elections, duly elected chairperson, Bonthe district. Moyamba district. Analysis of the results. (533) out of 537 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 99.25% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 112,110. The percentage voter turnout is 74.54%. There were 530 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson elections in Moyamba district. Jembe Gasimu Soriba, 1,357, representing 1.22%. Jumbla Jimmy Hinga, 2,622, representing 2.35%. Kapoy Musa Tapima, 21,750, representing 19.49%. Bogba Joseph Benedict, 85,851, representing 76.94%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by the 2 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify Bogba Joseph Benedict of the SLPP having pulled 85,851 of valid votes cast, representing 76.94% of the total votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Moyamba district. Bonthe City. 18 out of 18 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 100% of the polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 3,526. The percentage voter turnout is 95.63%. There were 18 invalid votes, representing 0.51% of votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral elections in the Bonthe districts. Bonthe City. Imawa Fani Nema, 404, representing 10.79%. Robinson Mohamed Mahmoud, 3,341, representing 89.21%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Robinson Mohamed Mahmoud of the SLPP, having pooled 3,341 of valid vote cast, representing 89.21% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor, Bonthe Municipality Council. Pujehun District. 410 out of 422 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 97.15% of the polling station in the district. The total number of vote cast is 101,626. The percentage of voter turnout is 87.66%. There were 422 invalid votes, representing 0.41% of vote cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the chairperson elections in Pujehun District. Rogers Fudi Kande Senior, 97,108, representing 95.95%. Soiree Dennis, 4,096, representing 4.05%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Rogers Fudi Kande, Senior of the SLPP, having polled 97,108 of valid votes cast, representing 95.95% of the total valid vote cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Chairman, Pujehun District. Western Area Rural. 1,095 out of 1,161 polling station results were entered into the results database, representing 94.3% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 300,411. The percentage voter turnout is 87.87%. There were 1,096 invalid votes, representing 0.3% of the vote cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the chairperson election in Western Area Rural District. Barry Mohammed Denke, 2,074, representing 0.69%. Paul Eugene Ayo, 35,079, representing 45.13%. Holland Paul Cashaw Joseph, 157,164, representing 52.51%. Kamara Abdullahi DG, 2,467, representing 0.82%. Kamara Amidu Ibrahim, 620, representing 0.21%. Kabo Suleiman Samba, 328, representing 0.11%. Kuruma Mariama, 829, representing 0.28%. Tipsy Fibian, 754, representing 0.25%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Holland Paul Kashaw Joseph of the APC, having polled 157,164 of valid vote cast, representing 52.51% of the total valid vote cast in the 24 June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected chairman, Western Rural District Council, Western Area Urban. 1,932 out of 2,049 polling station results were entered into the result database, representing 94.2% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 564,003. The percentage voter turnout is 94.27%. There were 1,954 invalid votes, representing 0.34% of the votes cast. Now, therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the result obtained by each candidate in the mayoral election in the Western Area Urban District. Aki Soya Denise Yvonne, 288,683, representing 51.36%. Bangura Jonathan Paul Siddiqui, 1,487, representing 0.26%. Barry Sharif, 1,801, representing 0.32%. Bonthe Kasim, 309, representing 0.5%. Kaba Sire Mariam, 556, representing 0.10%. Kamara Lilian, 753, representing 0.13%. Kamara Mohamed Gento, 268,213, representing 47.72%. Sankor Ibrahim, 247, representing 0.04%. In the exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Akisoya Denise Yvonne of the APC, having polled 288,683 of valid votes cast, representing 51.36% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 mayoral election, duly elected Mayor of Freetown City Council. We are waiting for the Bo City correction.
We're live from the Bintu Mani Conference Center, the Freetown International Conference Center, where the National Returning Officer, Mohamed Konneh, accompanied by other regional commissioners, just announced result for mayoral chairperson and parliamentary allocated seats to political parties in the 6th parliament. We're waiting for some corrections with the result from the Bo City Council, I think. We need to do some corrections on it, and that is being done. And when it comes, they will be announcing it again. It's a somber mood here, quite off. I can see the SLPP visibly represented on my right hand side, seated, some senior members of the SLPP, and the media's attention is here. The media, local and international media houses are all here, bloggers as well, streaming live on social media for the public to get the information. We should also note that a result for councillors has not been announced. According to the National Returning Officer, they will announce that in due course, and that will be communicated to the public. And definitely AYV will be here to bring you the announcement of those results from across the country. You're watching and listening and following us on our social media. This is AYV broadcasting live from the Freetown International Conference Center at Bintu Mani, where the National Returning Officer, the chairman of the National Electoral Commission, the Electoral Commission for Sierra Leone ECSL, Mohamed Konneh, just announced results for chairperson, mayoral positions, and parliamentary. And there's not been celebration in here as it was when the presidential results were announced. It has been a somber mood. At some point, the National Returning Officer had to, quench his thirst after reading, calling so many figures. I'm sure Sierra Leoneans out there doing the mathematics. We've seen one of the commissioners, I think that one of the commissioners has left his seat. He has just gone perhaps to see whether that is Commissioner South actually. Is the commissioner responsible for Bo District, the region where we are waiting for some corrections to be made on the results. The results have been announced for the mayor position in Freetown, in Bo, in Port Loko, Makeni, and chairperson for the district across the country. And also members of parliament who will be representing the political parties in parliament from the district. Our producers are putting the figures together, and I'm sure they will be up on our screens very soon. The results has come. It's here. They corrected the results, I'm sure, from the South Bo District, and it has been handed over to the National Returning Officer, Mohamed Konneh. Let's listen.
390 out of 390 stations database, representing 100% of all polling stations in the district. The total number of votes cast is 81,849. Percentage voter turnout is 72%. There were 392 invalid votes, representing 0.47% of votes. Now therefore, as National Returning Officer, I hereby announce the results obtained by each candidate in the mayoral election in both districts, in both cities. Dumbuya Abdullahi Sanko, 14,608, representing 17.93%. Fatoma Zainab, 355, representing 0.44%. Musa Koba, 65,121, representing 79.95%. Y Ramatu, 1,104, representing 1.36%. And Yambasu Glory Phoebe, 269, representing 0.33%. In exercise of the powers conferred on me as the National Returning Officer by Section 92 of the Public Elections Act 2022, I hereby certify that Musa Koba of the SLPP, having polled 665,121 of valid vote cast, representing 79.95% of total valid votes cast in the 24th June 2023 chairperson election, duly elected Mayor Bo City Council. We've come to the end of announcement of results for both parliamentary and the mayoral and chairpersons elections. Thank you so much for coming. God bless us all.
It has ended here, the announcement of the final results for the chairperson mayoral, but I see the SLPP seems to be well represented here. I want to ask, hello sir, how are you sir? Then just announce the results. I suppose you represent the SLPP. What's in this result mean for the party?
Well, I win for the party. We know to win now win for everybody. Win for Sierra Leone. So we accept the party, we accept the results. The outcome of the results. We know say now the people of Sierra Leone win.
Are you expecting this? You've been expecting?
Of an election. You expect the outcome could be this and that, but nobody expects say we lost the freedom urban. But it's an election. You can't say you win all. What you get? Satisfied with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's talk to some other people. Una don't dare and the results. What in this mean for the party with the number of members of parliament and the other seats?
Well, Mina Dr. Chakenda, Deputy National Secretary General for SLPP. We're really happy with the results so far because we know say we don't gain a lot of seats in the parliament, and we believe the institution also will carry out all the processes. I think we stand at the higher ground.
You been expect this?
Well, elections normally they expect for you to win everything, but whatever comes out, we respect the process, and we know say as a party, we just go for continue the ruling platform.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll talk to the madam. I see. I'll talk to you, sir. We can just introduce yourself. Should we talk to you?
Yeah, me name is Kanabo, the National Treasurer of the Sierra Leone People's Party.
Okay, the result don't come out today. Are you happy as a member of the SLPP?
Well, SLPP is a democratic party, and SLPP respects the rules and order of the institutions. So we are happy, and it's a win-win situation for us. That's what.
Yeah, there is the gender empowerment bill where they talk about more women at parliament. Do you expect to see that with this result already announced today?
Of course. Like in our own part Southeast, we have more women in parliament, even in the city council, like Bonthe, the chairperson is the woman.